Hello everyone, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with a reading focused on the Divine Masculine today. So if you're focused on a particular masculine that you are in separation from and going through challenges in that connection, that's what this reading is going to be focused on here, guys, okay? General reading as always, it will not resonate with every single person, so please do take from this whatever makes sense for you, release the rest. If you're interested in your own personal private reading, all of that information is down below in the description box, and I will have a link to all of the decks that are used here today. All right, guys, so this is for all signs, and it's ultimately timeless, so there's no particular time frame that I'm focused on here, just focusing on Divine Masculine overall and how they see the relationship and whatever challenges you guys are going through right now. These are the two card decks that I'll be using for the focus messages this time around. This is the Twin Flame Shadows deck by Mystic Moon, and then we'll grab insight from the Confessions of a Runner deck by Angelic Revelation 144. Okay, so let's get started. So this is going to bring forward some challenges initially as to what's going on with the Divine Masculine here. So we might pull more than one focus message from this deck. Angels and Spirit Guides, please, for whoever needs these messages at this time for the Divine Masculine person that you're focused on, guided to this one. Okay, so they tend to make the feminine feel very unlovable. So this masculine might have a bit of a complacent heart space when it comes to interacting or really just letting the feminine know how they're feeling. Okay, especially if you're feminine tuning in and if this is how your masculine has made you feel. Just that unlovable energy coming forward from that. And that's what's keeping this connection for some of you in the shadows. Actually, no, I wanted to pull more than one. I don't know why I put it away. Let's grab one more, sorry. Guided to this one. We also have this pitiful energy. Perhaps this is how the masculine is feeling at this time. You know, sometimes when we end up hurting people and we've had some time to think about it, it kind of brings us down to our knees. It's like, why the hell did I do that? You know, hurting this feminine here. Let's grab one more. And then we've got this distant energy between the two of you, which I'm not surprised because this reading ultimately is focused on those who are going through some major challenges or are in separation. Okay, and this particular deck by Angelic Revelation 144, Confessions of a Runner. Let's see what their confession is. Angels and Spirit Guides, focusing on the Divine Masculine. What is it that they're running from? We already know what's in the shadows. What are they running from at this time? Guided to this one. I am used to being alone. People close to me tend to leave. You know, so perhaps you might be dealing with a masculine who ends up doing the leaving first because they don't want to end up being the one that gets hurt. And I really feel that that's a pattern for some of you guys that this masculine tends to create in particular situations, and the feminine ends up getting hurt, basically. Okay, so let's add to this and let's take a look and see what else needs to come through here with the Untold Truths of the Heart Oracle by Aquamoonlight, focusing on the Divine Masculine here. What's affecting this connection? What are the challenges, triumphs, if any? Let's take a look and see. How do they really see this relationship, the connection for the viewer? They're already coming through saying, I'm used to being alone. People close to me tend to leave, so let me do the leaving first. Let me create distance and make you feel unloved first. That way you can't hurt me. You know, that's what I'm picking up off of that. All right. Look at this. We've got despair, falling apart, sinking, hopeless. And I feel, if you're feminine tuning in, this is how your masculine perhaps has made you feel. That the relationship, first of all, is just on a very shaky foundation. It's put you into that energy of despair where you do feel hopeless. Like this is not a relationship that could be fixed or salvaged, perhaps. But it's interesting because the Epiphany card is right after that, where we've got that beautiful energy of the rainbow. So there's some sort of realization here. I mean, the words attached to this card: realizations, understanding, and awakenings. So let's see if our masculine actually has this epiphany. It certainly is possible. We have fantasy right after that, dreams, fairy tale, imagination. So with you guys at a distance, with the separation here between the two of you, and giving the masculine a little bit more time to really think about what's happened between the two of you, they could certainly be dreaming about you, these fairy tales and imaginations. But still there's distance. So you guys could certainly be connecting in the 5th dimension, but not so much in the 3D, because we still have distance here. That's the next card. Barriers, separation, and space. And ultimately, it's the divine masculine who created that distance. So now some of my feminines, you could be coming through with this energy, apprehensive. You're guarded now. You're cautious and afraid because you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to be in the path of this masculine's energy if they're just in a very dark space, and if they tend to do the hurting first so that they end up not, getting hurt. They create a lot of conflicts in the connection, multiple choices, inconsistency, decisions. This person also might have way too many options in love and romance. So we don't have a third party card here, but I just feel somebody's got way too many options here. They tend to hop in and out of situations, especially if things are just getting a little bit too serious, and if that's not what they're looking for. Again, I'm used to being alone, so let me do the leaving before things get a little bit too crazy here. But they don't always make the best decisions when it comes to the divine masculine, and so they create these conflicts for themselves. Look at this next card. We've got farewells, goodbyes, finality, and closure. So really, these two cards go together. It's like, okay, bye, I just want to be alone for now. It's been great, but see ya. That type of vibe. It's like we're getting a little bit too close, and I'm used to being alone, so let me just keep being alone. So, and for some of you, your divine masculine might actually have love in their heart space, but there's some shadows attached to their energy that's kind of ruining everything. Like the good parts of the connection kind of fade into the background because they engage in all of these destructive behaviors. And it's just as I was saying, there's no third party card here. Here we go. Influences, dark attachments, and third parties. There we are. So for some of you, this certainly can apply. Your divine masculine has involved themselves in third party situations, and perhaps if you're the feminine that this masculine said goodbye to, for now, I almost feel like you would be better off because they're just in a very negative energy. We do have time though, which can be a blessing here, and it is falling right below fantasy, dreams, fairy tale, imagination. There's a need to wait because certain cycles need to phase out. Certain cycles need to come to completion and close out. We have infinity here too. So for some of my feminines, perhaps you saw that this is a person that you could ultimately build a life with and have a future with. You saw forever with this person, but they were just not on that same wavelength. They just didn't have that same vision, I feel. We have clinging coming through next, holding on, obsessing, watching, which I'm feeling for some of my feminines, this could be you, trying to hold on to this masculine that does not want to be held on to. This watching energy, that obsessing energy, for me, for some of you guys, I feel They might have blocked you on social media, so you can't even watch them at this point. And they have created that barrier. You see how it's falling right next to that card? Barriers, separation, and space. They just want space. They're making sure that there's space between the two of you because they're not ready. And then we've got masculine energy, their very own energy coming through here. Last card is tension, turbulence, arguments, stress. So for some of you guys, part of these conflicts that are arising between you and your masculine, they've self-created these issues, and you guys could certainly have had your fair share of arguments and fights, and just overall very stressful. It hasn't been an easy journey for my feminines dealing with this type of masculine, because they tend to leave right when things start actually going somewhere, you know. And really, this confession says it all. It really wraps things up, you know, in a nutshell. I'm used to being alone. People close to me tend to leave, so they're used to it. And I'm really picking up here for whoever's resonating with this particular masculine. They've gotten so used to that type of environment that when good love and somebody actually comes into their life, they freaks them out. It's like, oh my God, something good actually happening to me. Let me fuck it up before it turns into something beautiful, you know? That's what I'm picking up from that. But let's take a look and see if we can turn this around. So let's grab some insight from my Pining Rose Love Oracle by Calico Moon. Can we turn this around? Let's take a look. Angels and spirit guides focusing on divine masculine energy. What's going on with the divine masculine here? Unspoken feelings. I'm not surprised. I know I say that a lot in my readings, but I'm not surprised. We've got torture. Look at this. Look at the direction that these cards are coming through. Unspoken feelings, torture, and then we have I love you. So, feminines, your masculine, they have love in their heart space for you. It's actually torturing them to not say these things to you because they're too busy being miserable and alone. We have seduced. So, for my feminines, you could have certainly seduced this masculine. So there's this intense attraction and magnetic pull between the two of you, but they're just coming through with this very stubborn energy. Running away from the ultimate relationship and heading towards toxic connections and third parties. But what they're running away from is this. True love. So instead, they create this, a separation, tension, arguments, conflicts, third parties, dark attachments, farewells, goodbyes, all of it. They create all of that to be able to avoid this because they're just not used to it. And so my feminines who relate to being made to feel like you're unlovable, that you're not worthy, that you feel less than you are, and ultimately just a masculine that makes you feel like you don't matter. It's the total opposite, really, of what's in their heart space. It's actually torturing them. It tortured them to say goodbye. It tortured them to walk away, to close that chapter of your connection. But again, they're used to the pain. They're used to being left alone. They're used to separations. They're used to goodbyes. They're not used to this, the love, the happiness, the amazing connection that you guys have. They're not used to it. But this is deep in their heart, but it's there. I'm telling you, it's there. I also feel that you might be dealing with a very stubborn masculine here. Stubborn, but lovable all at the same time. I do feel for my feminines, you're attracted to this person. And some of you are obsessing over this. But it's one of those things where you have to detach from it in order for your masculine to just do some work on themselves, because they're not in a good place. They're not on the same page as you. And by attaching yourself to this person for now, you would just end up getting hurt. They've got some issues that they need to deal with. Okay, so I wanted to grab some dialogue here. And this is my new card deck. It's called the Thinking Man Oracle, specifically focused on divine masculine messages and what the divine masculine would want to say to the divine feminine if given the opportunity. So let's grab a few from here. And as always, take what resonates with you, whatever you feel or are gravitated towards from your masculine. Or these could also be words that your masculine has actually already said to you. So let's see what comes through here. Angels and spirit guides, please. Focusing on the divine masculine. What is it that needs to be expressed here from the masculine to the divine feminine? All right. What is it that you want to say here? Let's grab a few. What is it that you want to say, since clearly there's a lot of unspoken words here, unspoken feelings. There's love here. Let's grab this bottom card. All right, masculine. What do you want to say? What does this masculine have to say to the feminine? Okay, first one. I do love you, and perhaps someday I can find the courage to just say it. Oh my gosh. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. It's here, guys. It's here. It's torturing this masculine to not say it. I knew it. Next one. Here I am, your one and only, your twin flame. And yet they're choosing to distance themselves from the feminine. They know in their heart of hearts the love is here. But they're not ready. They're too busy engaging in all of these toxic behaviors. So all you can do as a feminine is to get out of the way. Let that destruction happen. We don't have a tower card here. Not yet anyway, but that tower is going to come down on this masculine one way or the other, and you don't want to be a part of that path. You don't want to be in the way of that. I knew it. They love you. They just don't have the courage to say it. Or too stubborn to say it. The next message. I know you've been hurt before. Let me be the one to heal that broken heart of yours. And someday they will be able to, because right now they're dealing with their own broken heart. They can't even come towards you to heal your broken heart, especially if they're broken themselves. But here we are, our one saving grace, time. So just wait. Wait for this awful cycle to end and just close out. In time it will. Where your masculine can just face it and just realize the love is there. You ultimately represent this amazing connection between the two of you guys, and they just need to be able to get to that point of this epiphany, that realization. I don't think it's there quite yet, but it's here. It's represented here because this is a possibility of what they can bring in towards their healing journey, especially those who need to do that shadow work, which I feel it's so necessary. Next message. I miss you so much, my heart hurts. And yet they don't know what to do to bring this back together. That's because, again, I just feel like they're broken right now. You know, and again, they create this scenario. I'm used to being alone, but I miss you. It's like, I miss you, but I created this. The fact that I'm alone and I miss you, I created it. That's where the masculine is. last message from the Divine Masculine. I don't need a picture to remember your beautiful face. It's locked in my memory forever. And for my feminines who feel as though your masculine has forgotten all about you, especially if they've moved on or are just engaged in all of these destructive type behaviors, they have not. They have not. You're locked in their memory. They're not going to be able to run away from this connection, especially for those of you who relate to a twin flame connection here. It will forever be a part of their heart. That's it. That is insane. So let's add some tarot to this. Since we have a twin flame connection represented, let's grab tarot from the Twin Flame Journey Tarot by Mystic Moon. Angels and spirit guides, please. Focused on the Divine Masculine. What else do we need to know here? What do we need to know here? And I have a card flying. We've got the Six of Swords. So some of you might be focused on an air sign here. Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. What was I just saying? Here's our Tower card. I know it's not funny, but I just was like, we don't have a Tower message yet, but here it is. But I'm actually quite pleased to see these two cards right next to each other, because this is very chaotic energy from the Tower, and things will eventually smooth out between the two of you. And again, with this represented here, I'm not surprised that you guys are in separation. There's conflicts, arguments, just a lot of drama that brought this Tower down, and it's the Divine Masculine ultimately that brought that Tower down on this situation with these dark attachments and third parties. That's where all of that's coming from. So with the Six of Swords, this is definitely a transition of having to leave this all behind, to move on and have that epiphany, have that realization that ultimately you guys belong together. But it's up to the masculine to go through that epiphany. You can't do it for them. So for now, with the High Priestess, especially for my feminines, you got to rely on your intuition and just know and believe if this is meant to be, it will be. There's nothing here for you to do. Just wait and see, which is why it's so interesting how it's falling right below time. That's exactly what needs to happen here. And with the Tower right next to it, that need for that divine intervention, some of you might even feel like, we need a freaking miracle to fix this. Well, you might just get it in time. We have the Eight of Pentacles coming through, followed by the Chariot. And then we've got the Three of Pentacles. Love it. So what this is letting us know here, guys, is there's a potential to create progress in this relationship. Even though right now you guys are in separation, you're dealing with a Divine Masculine who's in their own destructive world. I feel eventually, especially too with the energy of the Chariot, which is very fast movement, and it is indicative of a triumphant outcome here between the two of you. There's movement here. There is movement. Pentacles is earth energy, so some of you might be dealing with a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. Chariot is specifically Cancer. And then Three of Pentacles, I love, because this is letting you know here, guys, that if you guys can work together and collaborate and work as a team to get onto the same page and want the same thing, want to be able to come together and just love each other and express what's truly in your heart, both of you, then hell yeah, there's a chance that this can be a successful union. So no, it's not impossible, but it's not the right time either. Your Divine Masculine still has this particular journey to go through. So, you know, it's like watching somebody behind the wheel and you know they're about to crash, and you want so much to be able to honk your horn to just let them know it's like, you're about to run into a wall there. You know, you might want to change lanes, but you can't do that. This masculine has to crash. That's their epiphany. That's their awakening. So you can't help them go through that journey. It's something that they need to go through all on their own. And all you can do is step back and work on you and live your life. And there will come a day when I feel this is all going to come full circle. You'll hear from them, either offering a second chance, apology, to reconcile, whatever it is. But that can only happen after they have gone through this journey, healed from it, learned from it, and have that epiphany. That's how it's all going to come together. Craziness, you guys. Okay, so I wanted to grab some insight. This is a brand new deck, also by Angelic Revelation 144. It is the cutest little deck ever. Look how little it is, but I love it. Okay, so it's called Flames of Healing. Let's go ahead and add to this with some healing messages. Healing messages. It's the cutest thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab a few from here for this reading focused on your divine masculine. What are the healing energies that need to come through here? Angels and spirit guides, please, for whoever needs these messages focused on a divine masculine individual. We'll grab a few. Okay, and let's grab this bottom. Let's grab that. Okay. What are the messages coming through? Okay. Okay, first one. Consider your path wisely. This message could be for the masculine that you're watching this reading for. This could be for you, the viewer. Okay? Consider your path wisely. And if you're feminine tuning in, part of that path, the reason why this is coming through is because we have a tower here. You want to get out of the way of that destruction of that tower. So consider the path that you're on. You don't want to be on that same lane where that vehicle that your masculine is in is about to crash. It's time to change lanes for some of you, okay? Raise your vibration. Yes, you don't want to be looking at this from the energy of despair, falling apart, sinking, hopeless. If you believe in this, then you have to raise your own vibration to be able to see things from a different perspective and offer yourself that epiphany too. Because it takes two people to be able to come together to make this work. So all you can do is start with you. Next one, expect only positive things. Yes. If you're expecting pain and hurt and breakups and awful messages from your masculine, that's what you're going to attract back to you. So expect only positive stuff to happen from here on out. And that's the vibe that you're putting out there. You're changing the direction of where this is ultimately going to go. You're switching up your energy so that things can actually turn around here. Notice the synchronicities that you're seeing at this time when it comes to your connection with the masculine. Those are not accidents. Those are particular signs that are trying to grab your attention. So in the meantime, that takes us to our final message here. Focus on your goals. Don't put your life on hold waiting for this masculine to get their act together, because, you know, time is involved here. In the meantime, focus on you. Focus on what it is that you want in your own life, what it is that you want to manifest and bring forward for yourself. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some energies. I've been using this deck a whole lot and I'm guided to pull from it again. This is the Love Compass Oracle by Lunatide Love. I wanted to grab some energies here, the overall energy for the connection for you, the viewer. So we'll grab some potential possibilities and scenarios here for what your connection with your masculine represents right now. And as always, take from it what makes sense for you. Angels and spirit guides, please. What's the overall energy for this connection right now? We'll grab 3. The overall energy for this connection right now. And bottom of the deck, yes. We have children, we have forgiveness, and we have, yep, delays and blocks. Yes, not surprised. That's quite appropriate. So there are delays and blocks in manifesting new relationships in your life. You may be struggling to get out of a certain way of thinking or off a certain path. There are deep wounds that need healing in order to move forward. You are going through a period of deep transformation. This is slow but definite progress. Exactly. And that's why time is involved here. Okay? So hang in there. Just allow life to happen. Take it slow. These delays and blocks are necessary. We have children. Children are involved in this relationship. This could be the possibility of bringing in a child, or you have been thinking of having children. This may pertain to you acknowledging your inner child. You could be reaching a childlike frequency or higher vibration. This could be tapped into your own divine masculine here, okay? To help them heal. And if you resonate with this for yourself, you the viewer, then, take from that message whatever makes sense. If you guys have already had children, certainly that's a part of the reason why that's coming through here. And lastly, forgiveness. Your heart needs to be in the communication of forgiveness. Fully forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness will allow you to move forward and heal. It will create more space for love in your life. I really feel this was custom made for the divine masculine for this reading. The divine masculine has to be able to forgive themselves in order to let go of any pain and energies attached to the past. You can't live in the past. They can't live in the past. And this forgiveness, I always feel it's a gift that we offer ourselves so that we can just heal and remove whatever burdens that we might be attaching to ourselves. That's something that's no longer serving a purpose in our lives, So it's a gift that you have to offer you. And this is something that the divine masculine has to learn. That's one of the lessons, the major lessons that this divine masculine has got to learn. Otherwise, it's going to make that journey just a little bit more difficult. Okay? All right, guys. So let's close this out. And I'm trying to decide what deck to close it out with. Let's grab from the Twin Flames and Soulmates. This is the Twin Flames and Soulmates, Shadow, Soul Truth, and Desire messages, again by Angelic Revelation 144. And a very special shout out to her because she's gifted me with so many card decks. They're all amazing. So if you're not familiar with her, please do check out her channel, show her some love, and definitely check out her card decks because they're all fantastic. All right, so let's close this out with some messages from this deck. And let's see what needs to come through here. Angels and spirit guides, focusing on this divine masculine reading. What are our final thoughts here for this connection, especially from the divine masculine, who has yet so much to learn and a bit of a journey still to go through towards healing, getting past negative energies, toxic energies, pain, hurt that they themselves have experienced. Please bring forward the messages that need to come through here to close out this reading. We'll grab 3 and let's grab the bottom. Okay, what do we have? What do we have? Yeah, well, first of all, we already know this. That already came through. Third-party situation, confirmation right there from that card. So I'm not surprised to see that. Let's read this one. I didn't reject you. I just didn't love myself, so I didn't know how to love you properly. Oh, my freaking Lord. Coming from the divine masculine to the divine feminine. And hopefully for my feminines tuning in, this allows you to heal a little bit, knowing that this is how they're feeling, that they didn't reject you. They're just broken. They're just really messed up right now, and they need time. They really need time to go through their own healing journey. Right now they're broken, and you can't fix them. Don't try to fix them. They need to be able to fix themselves. And the last message, I ripped out my own fucking heart when I hurt you. And they know it. They know it, guys, okay? This is how they made you feel, unlovable, causing you to be in despair, falling apart, sinking, hopeless. They know it. Believe me, they know it. Okay, so hopefully that offers you a bit of closure in the meantime to really see where they're coming from and what they're dealing with. And in the meantime, all you can do is focus on yourself, your own healing journey. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave this one, guys. I do hope for those of you that resonated with this, that it offered you some sort of clarity and peace that you needed right now. And again, if you're interested in your own personal private reading, all of that info is down below in the description box. Thank you so very much, guys, for being here, for tuning in. I'll see you guys real soon. Bye-bye.